I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:02. Can I have a moment of silence, please? Stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, I see. All right, roll call. Mrs. Turner? Here. Mr. Brownhall? Mr. Gaffney?
Here.
Mrs. Iacone?
Here.
Mr. Kenny?
Here.
Mr. McGuckin?
Here.
Mrs. Quinn? Mrs. Trompe?
Here.
Mrs. Fitzwater? Here. Statement is hereby made that adequate notice of this meeting was given by submission of said notice to the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, the Cinnaminson Township Clerk, and the district website on January 6, 2022. Going to Section 4, Routine Business. We have A, the Board Secretary's report, B, the Treasurer's report, C, the Budget Receipts and Transfer report, D, the Monthly Transfer report for April 26, 2022, E, the High School Activities report as of March 2022, F, the Food Service Management Cost Performance Statement as of March 2022, Certified Bill List, March 10th through March 31st of 22, and April 1st through April 6th of 22. Approval of minutes, the regular minutes of March 15th, 2022, and the executive session of March 15th, 2022. Mrs. Turner, can I have a motion to approve Section 4, Routine Business, letters A through H?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gaffney. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mrs. Trompe?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 5, Routine Matters. The enrollment report as of April 8th, 2022. The health report as of March 2022. Fire alarm report for March 2022. The crisis drill report for March 2022. The HIB report, and the superintendent's monthly report. Mr. Capello.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Thank you, members of the board, for being here. Thank you, members of the public, for joining us this evening. A couple of brief remarks, as I do every month. First, I wanted to start by recognizing that last week was Assistant Principal Appreciation Week. We have 5 individuals who serve in this capacity in our district. They do a tremendous job, and we appreciate them both last week and throughout the school year. So thank you to those individuals. We also recognize a number of individuals throughout the district. Our district has a special tradition whereby the Board of Education recognizes individuals as the Board of Education Achievement Award winners annually, and these folks will be recognized officially at an upcoming Board of Education meeting. But if you follow us on social media, you got to see several of these announcements, but I wanted to read their names this evening. At the New Albany School, and one of the great things about the award, too, I should preface and say that it is folks who are anywhere in our stakeholder group serving in any capacity. So at the New Albany School, our nurse, Mary Nauman; the Eleanor Rush School, an ABA, Kelly Kroon; at the middle school, Bill Sin, counselor; at the high school, Kim Slater, computer science business teacher; and at our facilities department, Justin Otto in maintenance; and finally here with us this evening from the Memorial School, Mr. Steve Creel, our director of technology. So congratulations to all of them, and we look forward to recognizing them officially in the immediate future. I'd also like to congratulate all of the students who participated in the Invention Convention, particularly those who walked away with awards, and special thank you to Ms. Lauren Coker for the return of that event in person. Did a terrific job, and thank you to Mrs. Fitzwater and to Mrs. Iacone, who were able to come out and help represent the Board of Education at that event, which was a tremendous success in its return. Also like to recognize a program that we are piloting in the district at the New Albany School last week. Our students got a visit from Lily the therapy dog, our new furry friend who will be visiting frequently and taking part in a new program we're dubbing Pirates and Pages reading program with our students and the new therapy dog Lily. There are pictures that will be posted and available on social media, and they're just adorable. And we look forward to having her as a wonderful addition to our program. And right now, happening simultaneously with our Board of Education meeting is our 4th grade concert over at Rush, so I'm sure they are doing a fantastic job. I look forward to seeing the video later this evening, and we just know that they did a great job. I'd also like to recognize our 4th grade students who are finalists now in the New Jersey School Boards Association and U.S. Army Steam Tank Competition. 2 of our groups were selected as finalists, and they work under our Project Challenge teacher, Mr. Rob Lyons, who recognizes the group from Happy Habitat, and those students were Aiden Arcanio, Anna Shaw, Matthew Doherty, Gavin Chalosky, and Jack Calhoun. And then there was also our group of our Eco Bears, and that was Macklin Plotnecki, Grace Collins, Frank Rio, and Noah Bundy. Congratulations to all of those students, and we wish them the best of luck as they compete in the finals for the Steam Tank competition. Also in congratulations, a high school junior, Sri Ramalongo, who we recognized via our high school reports a few months ago, won the Congressional App Challenge, and he will be recognized tomorrow on Thursday, in a ceremony that Mr. Gorman and I were invited to, where he will be presented officially with his award by Congressman Andy Kim at the Palmyra Cove for a research project that he conducted with drones. And the app that he wrote is absolutely sensational, and we wish him the best of luck and continued success. I want to also put in a plug that presently we have a stakeholder group that is looking at our website and application, mobile application in the district. So we will be eliciting some parent feedback as we look to redesign the functionality of the website to provide a better parent and public-facing experience. And finally, I'll put in a little plug that the public hearing on our proposed budget will happen later this month on April 28th, and you should follow the website for details about that budget presentation. And that is my report, Mrs. Fitzwater.
Thank you, Mr. Capillo. Mr. McGuckin, can I have a motion to approve Section 5, routine matters, items A through F?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trempe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passed. Moving on to Section 6, student representative reports. First, we'll hear from Allie Neidert at the high school.
Thank you. Congratulations to Mrs. Kim Slater, the Cinnaminson High School Board of Education Achievement Award winner. The Golden Apple Award winner for the month of April is Ms. Donna Saxton, who was nominated by Ms. Beatty and her students. The students of the month for March are as follows: Class of 2022, Allison Neidert; Class of 2023, Malachi Etene; and Class of 2024, Aiden Underwood; and Class of 2025, Charles Ambos. Here's our update on spring sports. The baseball team is currently 3-0. The team worked hard to beat Camden Tech 6-1 on Monday. Their next game is away against Northern Burlington at 3:45. Senior night is May 24th at 6 p.m. against Riverside. The softball team's current record is 2-2. The team beat BCIT West with a close score of 4-3 on Monday. Their next game is Wednesday at home against RV. Senior night is Wednesday, May 11th at 6 p.m. against Pennsauken. Girls lacrosse is currently 3-0. Their next game is away against Rancocas Valley Regional at 4:15. Senior night is Wednesday, May 4th at 5:15 against Haddon Township. Boys lacrosse is currently 2-2. Their win against Holy Cross on Monday secured them the BCSL divisional victory. Senior game is tentatively scheduled for May 2nd against RV. Track and field, both boys and girls, are undefeated with a record of 2-0. Boys tennis has a record of 0-2. Their next match is away against Palmyra on Wednesday at 3:45. The senior match is May 2nd at 3:45 versus Pemberton. The golf team started off their season with a 171-207 victory against Northern Burlington. Senior match is still being scheduled. The boys volleyball team had a 2-0 win over Burlington County Monday afternoon, which puts their season record at 1-2. Senior game is Monday, May 9th at 3:45 versus GCIT. This year's junior-senior prom will be held on May 20th, 2022 at the Collingswood Ballroom from 7 to 10:30 p.m., with the theme being Masquerade. Tickets are currently being sold and everyone is excited for the upcoming event. NHS still continues its district-wide tutoring every Tuesday, with NHS students providing services virtually. Any student struggling with the class in need of test prep or homework is encouraged to attend. Also, the NHS students are planning senior workday set for June 10th. Interact made 218 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for Cathedral Kitchen in Camden. Interact member Grace Kohler initiated a food drive during the month of March. The food collected was combined with food from the CHS food pantry and delivered to Urban Promise in Camden. Students in TSA have completed their design challenges and are awaiting the results for the state competition. The award ceremony will be live-streamed from the College of New Jersey on April 26 at 5 p.m. Students who place first in the state competition will be eligible to attend the national conference in Dallas, Texas. On Thursday, April 7th, DECA held its inaugural Quest for the Net, a students versus staff basketball game. Over 500 students attended. Tip-off was 6:30, and in the end, the students defeated the staff 58-50. A great night was had by all.
Thank you, Ally. I apologize for butchering your last name again. Before you leave here in June, I'll get it right.
Congratulations on Student of the Month.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to our middle school representative, Olivia Ruggieri.
Good evening to all of you. Our students of the month for March, 6th grade are Jarrett Lorenzo, 7th grade Jason Passetti, and 8th grade Anthony Perno. March 21st was World Down Syndrome Awareness Day. Students, teachers, and staff rocked their crazy socks to celebrate being unique. CMS held a March Madness rock, paper, scissors competition between staff and students. Students and staff competed in best out of 3 rock, paper, scissors battles. Each week, these matches were televised on Pirate TV. Mason Colley and Mrs. Lukey were in the finals, with Mason coming out on top as the winner. The boys' A baseball team had their first game this week and beat Hollabin 17-0. Anthony Millicurry pitched 5 shutout innings, and the offense hit the ball over the field. The girls' A softball team played their first game on Monday versus Hollabin Middle School. The A team will travel to East Hampton on Wednesday. The B softball also had an 18-11 win over Burlington City. We had some outstanding hits from Jalen Harmon, Madison Mosey, Maggie Guinan, and a home run from Emily Berthoff. Great pitching from Sophia Gesner and Megan North. The girls' lacrosse teams were off to a good start. Both the A and B lacrosse teams won their first games of the season against Delran. The track team started the season 2-0, and our next competition, only including the sprinters, is Wednesday against other 4x100 teams. This is the qualifier for Penn Relays at Franklin Field. We are looking forward to recharging over spring break and are gearing up for a busy spring to finish out the year. Students will attend our Unity Club trips the first week of May, participate in Fitness Frenzy on May 20th, perform in our spring musical concerts, and celebrate during our 8th grade activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. Any comments or questions for either of our student representatives? Thank you very much. All right, we are moving on to Section 7, presentation, and we are going to have a presentation by Mr. Inverso from Inverso and Stewart LLC on the results of the audit year ending June 30th, 2021.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to go over the financial summary. Hopefully all the board members have it in your Chromebooks. If I could direct your attention to the left-hand column, we took in this year tax levy, $34,809,855. Tuition revenue, $465,000. Transportation, $1,075,000. Miscellaneous revenue, $483,000. Federal aid, $61,000. State aid, $11,462,336. Totaling revenue of $48,358,603. We expended in the same period $46,642,585, resulting in a net profit of the year of $1,716,018. We started the year with a fund balance of $12,507,596, and in this year, like all schools, we had a GASB 84 adjustment for unemployment compensation, which was formerly put in trust, now has to be put in the general fund. That results in a restated fund balance of $12,990,214. That, with the gain in operations, results in an overall fund balance of $14,706,232. That number is further defined right below. What makes it up? Reserve for encumbrances, $92,593. Capital reserve, $2,797,000. Maintenance reserve, $2,554,000. Excess surplus, $3,248,651. That's the amount that must be put in the 22-23 budget. Designated for subsequent years' expenditures, $2,527,327. That's the amount put in the 21-22 budget. Unemployment compensation, $483,490. And unreserved and undesignated, $3,002,547, totaling the $14,706,232. The calculation for the unreserved surplus is on the bottom. It's the expenditures times 4%. Formerly, that was 2%. In 21 and 22, the state raised it to 4%, resulting in $1,865,703, plus the extraordinary aid and non-public textbook aid, resulting in the $3,002,547. So that's the maximum we could have, and that's the maximum we do have. As far as comparison of budget to actual, our budget was $54,220,000. We spent $46,735,000, or about 86%. Previous year was about 91%, and the way we return surplus is by excess revenues or not spending our budget, and that's why the gain is greater this year in '21. Any questions on the financials? That's where we stand. As far as the record keeping, the board office, again, did a great job. Everything's been in good order. Board reports were board secretary's reports on a monthly basis were very accurate and very good. So there's no comments or recommendations,
Great.
and that's where we stand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Roger.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to Section 8, correspondence to the board. Anybody? Okay, we have no committee reports this week, so we're moving on to Section 10, public comment on agenda items.
Look like it.
No? Okay, well, we'll move on to Section 11, personnel certificated. Mr. Capello.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under Section 11, Letter A, retirements and resignations, seeking the board to approve the resignation for personal reasons of Victoria Zaharsky, math teacher at the middle school, effective June 30th, 2022. Under Number 2, seeking the board to approve the resignation for personal reasons of Deborah Nicely, music teacher at Cinnaminson High School, effective May 31st, 2022. Under Letter B, appointments, we have several of them, seeking the board to approve the request to extend the long-term substitute assignment of Victoria Chapon at the Rush School from April 12th, 2022 through June 22nd, 2022. Under Letter B, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Rachel Martinez, long-term substitute at the middle school, effective April 13th to June 22nd. Number 3, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Natalie Zakroff, New Albany School, as MDK teacher, effective August 31st, 2022 for the 22-23 school year. And Number 4, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Brian Nace, Rush Intermediate School, as a BD teacher, effective August 31st, 2022 for the 22-23 school year. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Dana Rainier, Cinnaminson Middle School, as Spanish teacher, effective August 31st, 2022 for the 22-23 school year. And Number 6, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Madison Pallett, Cinnaminson High School, as biology teacher, effective August 31st, 2022 for the 22-23 school year. And Number 7, seeking the board to rescind the previously approved pay rate for Shannon Morris, a long-term substitute at the high school, retroactive to March 21st until May 31st. Under Number 8, seeking the board to approve Edmund Cook as long-term substitute at Cinnaminson High School for the balance of the school year, June 1st through June 22nd. Under Number 9, seeking the board to approve the request to extend the long-term substitute assignment of Joseph Pinto at the New Albany School from April 11th through the remainder of the school year. Under Number 10, seeking the board to approve the extension of the previously appointed interim assistant principal position for Brian Belsky, effective April 25th through the remainder of the school year. And under Number 11, seeking the board to approve a transfer of Brian Belsky, interim assistant principal from the Rush School to the middle school, effective April 26, 2022 through the end of the school year. And Number 12, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Melissa Livingood as the district's qualified purchasing agent with a bid limit of $44,000 and a quote limit of $6,600. Under Letter C, teaching overload, seeking the board to rescind the previously approved overload of Maureen Rowan for a single period overage at Cinnaminson High School 3 days a week, seeking the board to rescind the previously approved overload of Carlo Iacone, Catherine Laskowski, and Julie Leitz for a single period overage at Cinnaminson High School for a 5-week period. No advancements on the salary guide. Under Letter E, extra duty appointments, seeking the board to approve the attached list of teachers for the Summer Smart Program, effective June 27th through June 30th, 2022, and then again from July 5th through July 21st, 2022. Under Number 2, seeking the board to approve the following teachers for the ESY program at the New Albany School and the high school, July 5th through August 4th, 2022, and those names are listed in the agenda under E2. Number 3, seeking the board to approve Brooke Kaffenberg, Catherine Jenkins, and Bailey Bond as speech therapists for the ESY program. Under number 4, seeking the board to approve Kathy Glisson and Helen DePopolo as school nurses for the ESY program. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the following staff members for the kindergarten Kickstart program at New Albany, July 5th through July 29th, and they are listed in the agenda under E5. And number 6, seeking the board to approve the following staff members for the Leap into Learning program at the New Albany School, July 5th through July 28th, and that's 3 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, and those names are listed under E6 in the agenda. Finally, number 7, seeking the board to approve Colleen DePietro for Cinnaminson High School with a Play Unified coach for the spring season. Under letter F, leave of absences, the board approves the rescinding of the previously approved FMLA for employee number as listed in the agenda. Under letter G, substitutes, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the resignation for personal reasons of Tracy Norfo from the position of permanent substitute teacher number 4 at the Rush School, and that is retroactive to March 18th, 2022. And she will remain on the daily sub list to be called on an as-needed basis for the balance of the school year. Seeking the board to approve the following substitutes to be called on an as-needed basis for the balance of the school year, and those names are listed in the agenda under G2. To number 3, seeking the board to ratify and affirm Regina Murphy as permanent substitute teacher number 3 at the Rush School, retroactive April 1st, 2022, for a maximum of 4 days a week for the remainder of the school year. And number 4, seeking the board to approve Rochelle Kozak, substitute school nurse, to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. Under letter H, tutors, seeking the board to approve the following staff as tutors to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the school year. That's Anthony Faltz, Anthony Ferrante, and Shirley Porter. Under letter I, student teachers, seeking the board to approve the summer externship for the LDTC position for Julie O'Brien, student at Rowan University, to be placed with both Michelle Montross and Gabriella Roach, July 5th through August 29th. Under number 2, seeking the board to approve Caitlin DuPont from Rowan University as student teacher with Bethany Creel at the middle school from September 6th to December 21st, 2022. And number 3, seeking the board to ratify and affirm Catherine Forte, Rutgers graduate student's one-day student observation under the supervision of Susan Bennett at the high school. And we have no mentor teachers, so that is the end of Section 11 personnel certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Capillo. Mr. Gaffney, can I have a motion to approve Section 11, certificated personnel, items A through J?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Trempe?
Aye.
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 And before we move on, just add a personal note in here. I wish the very best to Miss Nicely. She had a long career here in Cinnaminson and did a lot for the students in her band program, who will certainly miss her tremendously. That said, we also have a couple of new folks who are joining our staff, and some of them were able to be here this evening. So Mrs. Jones from Albany, would you mind introducing who was able to come out this evening?
Good evening. I would like to introduce Ms. Natalie Zakroff. We are happy to have another TCMJ graduate join us at New Albany as an teacher.
Welcome, Natalie. Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Also, on behalf of Mrs. T. Simone, who couldn't be with us this evening, I'd like to introduce Mr. Brian Mace. He is an experienced behavior support teacher coming to us from Cherry Hill, so we're just happy to have him.
Welcome.
Welcome, Brian.
Welcome.
And finally, Ms. Kerr.
Hello, I'd like to introduce Ms. Dana Rainier, who is joining us from the middle school. Dana grew up in Medford, but attended Westchester University.
Also a great school.
And comes to us with 5 years' experience teaching the middle school Spanish in Westchester, so we're happy to have her at the middle school language team.
Great.
Wonderful.
Dana, welcome back to New Jersey.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
All right. Those are our new folks with us.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so we're moving on to Section 12, personnel non-certificated. Mr. Capillo.
Thank you again, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under Section 12, letter A, resignations, retirement, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Elizabeth Hartkopf, cafeteria playground aide at the New Albany School, retroactive to April 14, 2022. To number 2, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Jennifer Caldwell, special education aide at the Rush School, retroactive to April 14, 2022. Number 3, seeking the board to accept with appreciation for her 22 years of service to the students and staff of Cinnaminson the resignation for purposes of retirement of Kathleen Clark, Principal Secretary at the middle school. To number 4, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Andrew Pullen, special education aide, retroactive April 14th, 2022. Number 5, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Maureen Rowan, BSIP aide at the New Albany School, effective May 13th, 2022. There are no leave of absences under letter B. Moving on to letter C, appointments, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the appointment of Leonard Joseph as a school bus driver in the Transportation Department, retroactive to March 22nd, 2022. There, number 2, seeking the board to ratify ratify and affirm the appointment of Julian Blackshear as special education ABA tech at the Rush School, retroactive April 4th, 2022. Number 3, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the transfer of Azania Williams from the position of special education classroom aide, retroactive April 1st, 2022. Under number 4, seeking the appointment of Tanya McDonald, special education ABA tech at the high school, effective April 25th, 2022. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Tiny Banks as a school bus driver at the Transportation Department, effective May 1st, 2022. Number 6, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Andrew Barner, special education ABA tech at the high school, effective May 2nd, 2022. Number 7, seeking the appointment of Robert Brown, a school bus driver at the Transportation Department, effective May 1st, 2022. Under extra duty, seeking the board to approve the paraprofessional staff listed for the extended school year program, effective July 5th through August 4th at their hourly rate, and they are listed under D1 in the program by New Albany School and high school participants. Under number 2, seeking the board to approve the following special education aides to attend and play unified practices and games with their assigned students, and those names are listed in the agenda under D2. Under letter E, transfers, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the following special education staff transfers for the remainder of the school year, and those folks are listed in the agenda under letter E. There are no job descriptions this evening, and under letter G, substitutes, seeking the board to affirm Adam Sewick as substitute SAC aide to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the school year, and seeking the board to approve Lisa Davidson and George Hunter, special education school bus aides, to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year, and that is non-certificated personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Capello. Mrs. Trompe, can I have a motion to approve Section 12 personnel non-certificated letters A through G?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. McGuckin. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 13, curriculum and instruction. Dr. Goldburn.
Thank you. Under 13, letter A, requesting board approval of the professional development requests that are attached. Under letter B, requesting board approval of the field trip requests that are attached. Under letter C, requesting approval of the creation of a National Junior Honor Society chapter at Cinnaminson Middle School for the 2022-23 school year. Under letter D, requesting board approval of the instructional materials that are listed in the agenda for next year for high school Spanish, Honors Advanced Office, and AP Environmental Science. And under letter E, requesting board approval of the acceptance of funds from the American Rescue Plan Homeless Children and Youth Grant Program in the amount of $22,619 with the budget sheets attached.
Thank you, Dr. Goldburn. Mr. Kenny, can I have a motion to approve Section 13, curriculum and instruction, letters A through E?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Turner. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Trompe?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 14, special education. Mr. Capello?
Thank you. Yes, reading on behalf of Mrs. Llewellyn. Under letter A, there are no contracts. Under letter B, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the following tuition contracts. Number 1, Yale School North 2 for one student from February 22nd, 2022 until June 30th, 2022. Number 2, Brookfield Academy for one student from March 15th, 2022 through June 30th, 2022. Number 3, Archway Program at the ACO campus for one student from March 24th, 2022 through June 30th, 2022. And number 4, also Archway Programs ACO campus for one student from March 28th, 2022 until June 30th, 2022. There is a consultant agreement under letter C, seeking the board to approve the consultant agreement with Waldorf and Associates LLC to provide neuropsychological evaluations as requested by the district for the 2021-2022 school year at $2,500 per evaluation. Under letter D, new program, seeking the board to approve the following special education program, and that is an elementary special class program, multiple disabilities K2 program, the addition of 2 classrooms. Again, that is at the New Albany School. And that is 14 special education.
Thank you, Mr. Capello. Ms. Sycombe, can I have a motion to approve Section 14, special education, items A through D?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Trompe?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 15, policy. Mr. Capello?
Thank you again, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under policy, seeking the board to approve on second reading and adoption the following policies that are listed under Section 15A1 in the agenda.
Mrs. Turner, can I have a motion to approve Section 15, letter A?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Section 16, business and financial. Ms. Livingood?
Thank you. Under
Letter A, grants that the board accepts the revised 2021 to 2022 funding statement for services under Chapter 192 and 193 is attached. Letter B, finance, item number 1, included in the budget line 600, budgeted withdrawal from capital reserve in the 22-23 proposed budget is $1,261,375, and the district intends to utilize these funds for the following projects: underground storage tank removal and replacement and memorial school classroom conversion. Item number 2 is maintenance reserve withdrawal for the 22-23 budget. Included in the budget line 630, budgeted withdrawal from the maintenance reserve is $438,600 for required maintenance projects, including electrical, plumbing, and mechanical repairs and any required maintenance of the district facilities. Letter C, operations, item number 1, donations, that the board approves and accepts with appreciation the following donations. The first donation is from an anonymous donor in the amount of $400 to the annual Invention Convention. The following 3 donations are from the Cinnaminson Elementary Home and School Association. The first one is for $134 to the annual Invention Convention. The second one is for $444 to the first grade field trip to the Philadelphia Zoo. And the third is in the amount of $406 to the third grade field trip to the Franklin Institute. Letter D, contracts. Item number 1 is that the board approves a joint transportation agreement between Cinnaminson Township Board of Education and Camden County Educational Services Commission, retroactive from April 4th, 2022 through June 30th, 2022 for route number 865 at a rate of $1,429.22 as attached. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Livingood. Mr. McGuckin, can I have a motion to approve Section 16, business and finance, items A through D?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 17, we have no other business, so we move on to 18, public comments on other matters. And I would just like to read before we go into public comments that members of the public are reminded that comments should be limited to items of, nope, I'm sorry. Other one, at this time, the board will seek public comment on any item. Members of the public are reminded that if they wish to speak, they should just state their name and address clearly for the record. And in accordance with Cinnaminson Board of Education Bylaw 164.6, comments will be limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person. The comment period will last for 30 minutes.
Please.
Brittany Relvis, Cinnaminson, New Jersey. I don't have a speech planned. I just wanted to come up here because I plan on putting my daughter back in this district come second grade, come September, and just a little alarmed with the new education standards that have been, well, they were put into play in 2020 as we masked and muzzled our children. We got them to start to comply for the last 2 years. So now we're going to talk about sex with them after reviewing pages and pages of the New Jersey curriculum and different, I guess, projects or assessments or assignments they can do with the children, and it's, again, up to the district and the teachers on how we're going to proceed. I have no problem with my second grader knowing what a penis and a vagina is, but I do have a problem with my daughter having to describe in front of a group of classmates what a clitoris is and where it's located, a urethra, a vulva, an anus, and what those body parts do. I I think it's disgusting. I really hope this board really thinks about what they're doing with these babies. Another thing is the gender theories and gender identity and telling them there's more than a boy and a girl. You can believe and think whatever you want, but we are parents and we have a right to decide what is going to be taught to our kids. I have sent an email to the superintendent. I never get responses, but certain board members have made posts that they think are on their private page, but have come to public light that can already see, you know, their thoughts on things. So I can only just imagine how this is going to go. So I ask the board, you can have whatever personal opinion you want, but you are sitting in a public appointed position. So you should really watch what you're posting because it's disgusting. So if you're not comfortable to sit up here to talk about masturbation and how many times you masturbate, don't expect my 5th and 6th graders to feel comfortable to talk about it either. That's it. Have a great day.
Any other members of the public that would like to address the board at this time?
Mary Beth Hankins, 705 Windsor Drive. I just wanted to touch on what Brittany was talking about. We've seen templates and suggested material for the upcoming curriculum for the upcoming school year. For kindergarten through 5th grade is what I've seen suggested for New Jersey, and it's appalling. It's grooming, and it's absurd what I've seen from teachers, not just found it on the internet, you know, came across it, stumbled across it. This is provided by other teachers, that these are the materials that they're given. And to think about my children being taught that in school disgusts me. I send my kids to school to learn math, writing, science, to be taught normal, general things, not whether she feels like a boy or a girl, or whether she, you know, wants to be a boy or a girl this day or a boy or a girl that day, and it's totally okay. That's not the public school's position to imply and put those things into my children's head. That's my position as a parent. That's our position as parents, and it's concerning to a lot of us, a big group of parents, not just in Cinnaminson, that these materials are being provided. And I think that we just want to know where you guys stand on that, how you plan to address this. And I saw a board member at the Eleanor Rush show tonight, and I heard another parent talking to him and saying that she's been bombarded with those calls. Parents concerned about it. He's sitting right there, and he had no idea that anybody was going to bring any of this up tonight. But we are extremely concerned. We know what's going on, and I think that we have a right to know how the board plans to handle it.
It's the usual three that show up and talk at the meeting. So Eileen Blystein, I live in Cinnaminson. Yes, I did see, I guess it's a proposed lesson plan, understanding our bodies, New Jersey. This is for 2nd grade. And what they want the kids to do is the teacher has, I guess, a diagram and has the body parts of a male and the body parts of a female. And they pick 6 kids, have Johnny, have Jamal, have Anthony, and have Susie go up to the board, and it actually says, and tell them to point to the penis, and who's going to point to the uvula, and who's going to point to the anus, and where is that located? And I was reading this to my sister on the phone, and my daughter overheard me, and she's 18, and she's like, stop, what are you doing? What are you talking about? It's embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing to talk in front of all of you. I'm kind of glad that, you know, Allie Nider's not here and the other girl is not here to hear that, because it's not appropriate to teach this in school. If you want to do basic, fine, basic 2nd grade, I don't think anyone needs to tell anybody about a penis and uvula or whatever. In 2nd grade, you should say, if you feel uncomfortable and anyone touches you in an appropriate way, you talk to somebody. That's 2nd grade level sex education. You have a problem, talk to someone. Don't ever do anything you don't feel comfortable with. That's what we should be teaching children, besides math and English and phonics and stuff like that. You know, what self-respecting adult would want to discuss this in front of a 6, 7, or 8-year-old child? I mean, let's take a survey. We survey our kids all the time. Let's survey parents and show them a curriculum, an actual lesson plan that these teachers are going to have to teach, and let them see and let them decide, is it appropriate? I'm not saying the teachers, it does say there's discretion, it does say the teacher can talk about how it's appropriate, but I don't want a teacher determining what's appropriate for a child, for these babies. Parents should determine what's appropriate. We definitely need an opt-in for this program, not an opt-out. You know, Mary Beth was right. This, you know, we masked our children for how long? Comply, and now this curriculum, you're going to have kids talking about sexual body parts in front of strangers. What, are we going to make them feel comfortable? It seems like grooming to me. And maybe that's not the point, but just know, if I was sitting in my office and I overheard someone have a conversation about this curriculum, I could file a sexual harassment complaint just by hearing the things said in this. So please, and I'm not saying you guys voted for it, I'm not saying, but I think it needs to be available for parents to see. And not just parents, because residents in this town pay taxes that fund this school. So we should have wide open, everyone should know what the curriculum is at every level, so that, you know, just have it out in the open. Because then you don't have to have us coming up going, what are you guys going to teach? Because it's out there. This is a curriculum, a lesson plan from rights, respect, and responsibility for second graders. So we know that you guys took this job because you care about children. We sound like we're angry against you, but we just want to know, this is concerning to us, and we don't want our children put in this position. So if you can send out a letter or something and let people know what's really going on, we'd greatly appreciate it. So thank you for your time.
Any other members of the public who would like to speak before the board? If I could offer a brief response, all of our curriculum is currently available online and accessible through the district's website. This current curriculum that you are referring to, the standards that are in the New Jersey Department of Education standards, and I can certainly point you in the direction of them, but I suspect you've done your research and have read the actual standards and understand that the things you are referencing are not included in the standards. They are just lessons that are floating around. They're offered as models. The curriculum that you are also speaking of has yet to be approved by this body, and all curriculum that are approved at a public board meeting. And I'll go a step further and say, if you'd ever like to meet to discuss this and offer some input onto that, Dr. Goldberg and I are happy to meet with you. We met with a group of concerned citizens earlier this year to address some of these topics as well. And I think after we met, they felt slightly better about some of the misconceptions that are out there and what is mandated and required and what is actually in the standards and in our curriculum. So I'm happy to extend that offer to you if you'd like to come in and meet with Dr. Goldberg and I and discuss your concerns regarding the curriculum. Great.
Okay. Comments from the board, Mrs. Turner.
Good evening. Congratulations to each of the Board of Education awards recipients. Congratulations to all of the students who participated in the Invention Convention. Congratulations to all of the Rush fourth graders, led by Mrs. Marr, who put on a fantastic spring concert tonight. It was outside. They participated with parents. They had parents participating. I heard it was a great time on this beautiful evening. Congratulations to our retirees. Enjoy your retirement. Thank you to everyone for the donations. Thanks to Allie and Olivia for your positive reports about our schools. And the public hearing on the budget will be held on Thursday, April 28th, 2022 at 5 p.m. right here in the middle school cafeteria. And the next regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022 at 7 p.m. right here in the middle school cafeteria. Information can be found on the district website. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Turner. We are going to go into executive session briefly, but there will be no business that will be done after the executive session. So with that note, Mrs. Trompe, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. McGuckin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're going into executive session.
Okay, board members, we're going to step across the hall real quick.
See, we're going to